That one, yes, SOHCAHTOA. All right, so SOHCAHTOA. So this one is part 2, guys. Part 2 of geometry. Okay, you don't need a lot of geometry. Don't keep studying all of it, right? That's the benefit of this, guys. If you are solving problems watching videos on YouTube, right, just 1 hour videos, you are just going to get pieces of it. If you take a book, you're just going to understand a bit of it. Here I'm giving you full 20 hours of 10 hours of instruction and 10 hours of practice problems to solve. And then there's more coming up, okay? But I don't want to flood you with all of this information. Just take it one piece at a time, just nibble on it, and your brain is going to understand it gradually, okay? All of these problems are coming up, right, on the test again and again. I'm telling you, all of these problems, right, 85% of SAT problems are repeated again and again and again, okay? They're rehashed in different ways where as soon as you understand what the problem is, you should be able to solve it, okay? So that's the deal here. So here we are with trig, okay, SOHCAHTOA. So let's remember this. This is, guys, this is the sine, okay? Let's look at this right angle triangle over here, first of all, okay? This right angle triangle over here, okay? And remind me, there's a hack to solving this, okay? There's a hack. So if I forget about the hack, please remind me at the end of the session, okay? There's a hack to this. There's a shortcut to this. I haven't told you. I'm going to tell it to you at the end, okay? But for now, let's focus on this, all right? Let's say there's an angle ABC, right? There's an angle ABC, right? And you were asked what is sine of C, okay? Now, let's do this for just 2 minutes. I know many of you already know it, but it's nice to brush it up. And this is going to be in your cheat sheet anyway. But now we're going to solve problems. So just remember, sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. This H is the hypotenuse, the slanted guy, the longest guy, right, is the hypotenuse, right? And the opposite side is going to be right over here. If this is C, right, then your opposite side is going to be here, okay? And then your adjacent side is going to be the one which is nearest to you. Very good. Very good, very good. Some people are giving me the formulas exactly right. So it's going to be exactly what you said, right? Now, let's put some numbers to this, okay? Let's say this is 5 and this is, let's say, 13, okay? So sine of C is going to be 5 over 13, guys, 5 over 13, right? Opposite over hypotenuse. Remember, the hypotenuse always is always on the end, okay? Always on the bottom, I mean, always in the denominator, okay? Now, cosine of C. Cosine of C is going to be this guy, okay? Remember, you're looking at this angle over here, this angle. So it's going to be this guy, okay? Now, I'll tell you this is 12. It might be given to you. It might be not. Don't worry about it. I'll tell you everything to solve about these problems, okay? All right? There's usually one of these types of weird problems. So just memorize what I'm telling you. It's just a 20-minute session on trig, and then we're going to move to volumes, but just memorize these and then move on to solving the problems. I'm going to give you all of these problems, okay? So cosine, be very, 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 very careful, okay? It's adjacent over hypotenuse, guys. Adjacent over hypotenuse, okay? So adjacent is 12, okay? And hypotenuse is 13, okay? So be careful. And remember, the hypotenuse is always in the numerator, or always in the denominator, okay? So 12 over 13, all right? And now tan C, which is opposite over adjacent, okay? So opposite over adjacent, so this guy over this guy, okay? So that's gonna be 5 over 12, okay? 5 over 12. Now comes the question for all of you. Well done, well done, well done, well done, right? Now comes the question, what is cosine of, guys, pay attention over here. What is cosine of A? All right, that's the question for you. I'm going to put in over here. Well, let me start with sine. Start with sine. Tell me what the sine is. Then start with cosine. Tell me what the cosine is. And then give me tan and tell me what is the tan. Okay. Okay, so first start with sine. Okay, then so maybe you can write it down like this: some number, right? Like you can write down something over something, comma, something over something, comma, something over something. Yes, remember, now you're looking at this guy. From this guy's point of view, right? It's the opposite, SOHCAHTOA, right? Remember SOHCAHTOA, right? So opposite becomes this guy and adjacent becomes this guy, okay? Answers are flooding in. Well done, Jenny. Well done, Abraham. Yes, yes. Excellent, Queen Lee. Nice, nice. I'm happy. I'm happy all the regular guys are regular people are solving these problems. That's what happens when you attend these sessions. Remember, just watching the videos is not gonna cut it. I'm gonna give you the recording, but just being here with me in real time makes it happen. That's why I'm putting in this effort. Okay, I charge $80 an hour, $80 an hour on my private sessions, but I'm doing this for really. It's a steal. It's just $95 for your entire 20-hour course, right? This whole course is for $20 for $95. It's a whole 20-hour course. It's a steal, right? So many people have taken advantage of it and used it and gotten great scores. Okay, some have boosted the scores by about even as much as 200 points. Okay, so pay attention. Sine A over here now is going to be this guy over this guy over this guy. Okay, my bad. So 12 over 13. Cosine A is going to be adjacent, right? The one which is sticking to the angle. Okay, so this guy's not sticking, right? This guy's sticking over here, right? So it's going to be 5 over 13. And the tan is this guy over this guy. So it's going to be 12 over 5. Well done, well done, well done, well done, guys. So many of you are getting it. Now here are some awesome things about these ratios. Okay. Now, please pay attention. If you're trying to solve this, hold off on solving it and put your eyes on the screen where I'm going to tell you some awesome stuff over here, right? It's so awesome. I've got to put it in red. I've got to put it in that red ink over here. Okay. What am I going to tell you? Pay attention. Sine of C is 5 over 12, right? And cosine of A, guys, is 5 over 12. Okay. Now, these are always going to hold true. Just think about it. Okay, just think about it. I'm going to get rid of all of this and let's just think about these ideas over here for a quick second. Okay, just think about it because there are some problems that have appeared in the test that are just like this. Okay, so you've got this C guy here, right? You've got this C guy here, right? Now, this guy is the opposite of this guy is this, right? And of course, the hypotenuse is a boring thing. It's always the hypotenuse, right? So that's going to be for the C. The sine of C is going to be 5 over 13. Okay. Now think about this guy over here. Okay. That's cosine of A, right? Now that guy, this is the formula, right? It's going to be adjacent. So it again is the 5. It's the same 5. Okay. So it's going to be 5 over 13. Right? So note that the sine of this guy is the cosine of this guy. All right? So that's the point I'm trying to make. If you've got a right angle triangle, okay? If you've got a right angle triangle, I'm just going to tell you right now. Let's try to solve this. Yes, yes. Well done. Well put, George Blair. That's exactly it. Okay? So let's say you take this right angle triangle, and I'm going to move this up a little bit, folks. Right? Take a look at this right angle triangle over here, guys. Okay, this right angle triangle, I'm going to mark it again over here as A. Maybe I should mark it as PQR, right? Just to write it slightly differently. So if I tell you cosine of R, guys, sine of R, right? Sine of R is equal to, let's say 3 over 5. Okay, so I'm just going to write down, sine of R is 4 over 5. Okay, so I could just write down 4 here and 5 here, right? No problem, because it's SOHCAHTOA, right? Sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So I just take this to be the opposite and take this to be the hypotenuse, right? So can you tell me what is cosine of R? Sorry, my bad. Can you tell me what is cosine of P? This guy, what's the cosine of P, guys, right? And those guys who know this, right? The challenge for you is tell me what is the tan of P. Okay. That's the challenge for those who know already what is cosine of P. Remember, the sine of this guy is the sine of this guy is the cosine of this guy. Okay. And those who already solved this are going to tell me what is tan. Yes, the answers are coming in. Excellent, Abraham. Yes, Anika, well done. Well done, George Blair. So now most of you know that this guy's sine is that guy's cosine, right? And same way, this guy's cosine is that guy's sine. So that's called the co-function property. Okay, don't forget this. This thing, just remember it. It just takes 20 seconds to remember this, okay? And keep reviewing it. Put it in your cheat sheet, the cheat sheet I'm going to give you, print it out, and it's going to be there, mark it, and read it every 2 days, okay? And that's going to be very helpful. Just this single piece of information will save you so much time, okay? So remember, sine of this guy is cosine of this guy, cosine of this guy is sine of this guy, okay? That happens only if it's a 90-degree angle. And how do you find the tan now? That's the thing we're going to look at next, okay? So that's another question which could arise, and let's look at this real quick, okay? So let's see, this is again, let's take the good old ABC triangle, okay? Guys, pay attention now. Pay attention. If you're solving your problem, hold off, watch what I'm doing, okay? You've got the recording and you can watch it later. The important thing is that you do the practice when I'm telling you to do it, and the other times you focus over here, okay? Right? That's the thing. That's why you come over here. You watch what I'm telling you, and it's going to go in your head much, much better. Okay. So look, ABC, and I'm going to mark this as, what was it? Let's see. How did I do this over here? So I marked it as 4 over here, right? So let's see. It's 4 over here. And then what was it over here? This was kind of like 5 over here, right? So now, for those of you who saw the video last time, right? For those of you who saw the video last time, yesterday's video, you can try to solve another problem, right? All of my regular folks, right? All of my regular subscribers can look at this problem and try to solve this guy first, okay? And for those of you who are looking over here, try to find what is this side, okay, for ABC. So find out what is BC equal to, okay? And for those of you who are over here, like this is the harder problem, guys, this is the harder problem, right? If this were, this is 12 and this is 13, right? Find out what is sine of r. That should be easy for you. I think that should be very easy for you. And find out what is the cosine of r as well. Okay, find out what's the cosine of r. In other words, you need to find out what is this side, and then find out the cosine of r. Yes, so great. People are solving these problems here.